In our news bulletin for this evening, the Niue Chamber of Commerce is looking to recruit someone into the top job within the office following the resignation of the Business Development Manager. A medevac arrived earlier this week to take a sick child for urgent medical treatment in New Zealand. A mental health training was held this week for health staff. 2 new fish species have been found in Niue. Well-known reggae artist Swiss performs for the first time in Niue as part of the Korea's Expo coordinated by Crosspower Niue. The Niue Chamber of Commerce is looking at recruiting a new business development manager due to the resignation of Peggy Veen. Ms. Veen started in this position in April of this year and has resigned for medical reasons, stating she was unable to return to her post. According to the chairman of the Niue Chamber of Commerce Board, Michael Jackson, an urgent special meeting was called on Monday afternoon to discuss and address the situation. In a press release issued on Wednesday, the Niue Chamber of Commerce Board has reassured the business community that programs and operations will continue with the current staff until a new business development manager is appointed. In the interim, Catherine Ituata-Papani will be the acting chief executive officer. With a number of staff changes within the office, there could also be changes as with the executive board. A date has been set for the annual general meeting to be held on Wednesday, the 28th of September. Local businesses are being encouraged to join and pay fees before the AGM in order to utilize their voting rights. A 7-week-old baby was airlifted to New Zealand on Tuesday evening for urgent medical treatment. The infant was admitted at Newfall Hospital on Monday, and a decision to evacuate him to New Zealand was made on Tuesday morning. He left Niue, and it is known that he was critically ill with a 50% chance of surviving, and that was something that the health officials did not want to take any chance by treating him here in Niue. According to the Director of Health, Clive Naepi, they were aware that he was being operated on by specialists at the Starship Hospital in Auckland. On arrival to Auckland, the young infant was accompanied by his mother to New Zealand, plus medical staff who were on the emergency flight. Health staff have been in a 2.5-day training for ways to improve interaction with patients who access mental health services. Mental health is often met with stigma and discrimination, but this process looks at creating a level of awareness that will enable health staff to deal with any potential complications or impacts and provide the necessary support needed. Earlier this week, a mental health service planning workshop was held for key stakeholders to identify and scope out what services are currently available and identify the gaps as well as ways to progress forward. The Mental Health Gap Action Program training is being conducted by 3 specialists from WHO South Pacific, the University of Auckland and Counties Manukau Health as an introduction to the general principles of care. The training modules include discussions surrounding mental health issues related to depression, psychosis, alcohol and suicide. The comprehensive training is specifically for health staff that starts from their initial assessment of patients and treatment, but also taking into account the rights of patients. 2 new fish species have been discovered in Niue and is creating a bit of excitement. Marine conservationist and biologist Dr. Mark Erdman's brief visit to Niue last year, exploring our marine environment, has led to the discovery of these fish at Awaiki Coral Reef. Niue's vast, rich marine resources are yet to be fully discovered, and although small steps are taken to document any finds, there is a need to understand what it is that is required to better manage those resources once they're discovered, as Niue could be the only place in the world where they could be found. The yet-to-be-identified fish are a rare find in Niue, and Dr. Mark Erdman said there could be other similar marine species out in the crystal clear waters of Niue.
Last year I came here in August on a family whale watching trip, and while I was here I happened to photograph 2 new species of coral reef fish which seem to be endemic or only found here in Niue. You have lots of different species of goby and triple fin here on your reefs, but these just happen to be 2 new ones that have never been seen before. They're living in quite shallow water. The goby that I found, it's a black with blue spots, and that one's really right up in the intertidal. You don't even have to get wet to see it through the tide pools. And then the triple fin is typically down at 3 to 5 meters depth, and they're just living right along the wall and picking off algae and things to eat. As a marine conservationist, we're always interested in knowing where there's endemic species, where there's things which are only found in a given area. And so to find a couple of fish species which are only known from Niue, it raises the conservation value of Niue's reefs. And also I would say that probably it helps in terms of promotion from the tourism aspect. Niue obviously wants to have as much marine tourism as it can, and being able to say that you have species that are found nowhere else on Earth, that's certainly a draw.
The authenticity of the discovery is exciting for Niue. It also indicates that we have in Niue some marine specimens that are rare, and there are some areas that have yet to be explored. Some locals have also said that while the discovery is exciting, there are more of Niue's marine life yet to be discovered or documented. Whiawhia Rex of Omatofua, who facilitated Dr. Erdman's brief stay in Niue, told BCN that there are other places in Niue, especially on the eastern side of the island, that are yet to be explored. Dr. Erdman also spoke highly of Niue's whale conservation program as being of a high standard compared to other Pacific nations.
I have a strong suspicion that Niue probably has quite a few new species of fish waiting to be found. I mean, I just found these literally while snorkeling with my children. If we were to do a proper reef fish diversity survey here, I reckon that there'd probably be quite a few new species to be found, actually. Niue has perhaps better managed whale tourism than Tonga and any of the other places around the Pacific. So I'm very impressed with what you have going here.
There is no confirmation yet about the Niuean names these 2 fish will be called, but Dr. Erdman has been in dialogue with Taonga Niue to give the 2 species a Niuean name, each to mark the significance of Niue's untapped, rich marine resources, as well as the name that will identify with the cultural aspects of Niue. There was a lot of excitement at Niue High School today, with the Careers Expo as a way to encourage young people to start considering their career pathways. This was organized by Crosspower Niue. Youth at Work is funded by the Pacific community and delivered through Crosspower Niue, with a project that rolled out in March. Since then, Glenn Jackson has been on the island managing the project and has spent a few months working in the schools, with departments and private sector to develop a set of programs to promote the Youth at Work concept. This has culminated into an exhibition of sorts where the multi-purpose hall was buzzing with a variety of booths that had representation from some government departments, local businesses, non-government organizations, and even potential startup businesses. As the students filed in through the hall, those within the booths had limited time to get their attention, share information about the potential careers available, and even come up with an interactive game to make it a bit more fun.
The Expo is going really great. We got a lot of interest from the students, but today we only have on display some of the things that the students don't know that Telecom does, which is rigging. We do rigging of all the towers on Niue, and also the fiber splicing. So that's pretty much what we wanted to get across to the students. For our game, it's called Loop the Hoop ADSL. So basically trying to throw in some the hoops into the antennas for the ADSL modems. The response has been positive, but we'll see as the year goes by. As you know, the students don't decide until towards the end of the school year.
I think it's awesome. I think the variety of different sort of stores that they have here, like they have the environmentalists, they even have the gym guys out here. I think it just shows the kids that there's more than what they may know themselves, you know what I mean? And it shows them that there's different career paths that they can take, and they get to learn a little bit about it today, and and going through different exercises with the stalls and that. So yeah, I think it's an awesome thing.
We have to go around to all of the different jobs, like government and private sector, and you have to fill in your card in order for you to get inside. I think it's really good to see all the kids out and about, just looking around the different jobs they have here in Niue.
One of the major draw cards, however, has been the opportunity to get a well-known reggae artist or musician to come as a feature act during the Careers Expo. Swiss is on island for a very brief time, specifically for the Expo, and this is his first ever performance in Niue. We caught up with him just before his concert.
Music's something that I always loved when I was younger. Growing up in church, as we do as islanders, singing at church, and eventually I wanted to I wanted to take it on professionally, and be able to look after my family back at home and things like that. And yeah, it was just one of those dreams that I always wanted to fulfill. And I guess I started writing when I was about 14 and got signed up when I was about 19. The main thing is just having faith in yourself, and faith in God also. I think a lot of it is just believing in yourself, because us as islanders, we tend to get caught up in being ma, and it all starts from home. And I think, and it's not just to the kids, but the parents, encourage your children to chase what they love doing and pursue their dreams. And that's the main thing.
The Expo concluded with a concert, and it was a bonus for the students to see local MC DJ Jackson performing, as well as Swiss showcasing their talents and what you can do if you pursue your dreams, with some great support and encouragement along the way. Those who were part of the event today were keen to see this as an ongoing fixture to encourage students to consider their future career pathways and see what potential there is on the island. Swiss is due to depart the island tomorrow, but says he will be working on a few projects and albums to be released next year. And that concludes our news bulletin for this evening. We do hope that you can join us again for our next news bulletin on Tuesday next week.